Hi everyone, welcome back to Inain's Forensic Classroom. I'm Inain and I'm here to take you on an exciting journey into the world of forensic science. Today we are diving deep into a topic that's often asked. What is the scope of forensic science? Like where exactly can a forensic student work? What are the career options? What do we actually do? So let's start with the basics. So in today's video, we will be talking about the need and scope of forensic science. So you know how crime has been around forever from ancient times to now. People have always found sneaky ways to break the rules. The tools might have changed, but the intention behind the crime is still the same. And with all this crime, one thing has become absolutely essential, which is forensic science. Now imagine this. In India, we have got millions of court cases that are still pending. You heard it right. Millions of cases are pending, and many of them are stuck simply because we do not have enough solid evidences to solve them, and that's where forensic walks in, just like a superhero with a microscope. So let's be real, eyewitnesses can lie. If we only rely on eyewitnesses, then that is also not a good thing to do because eyewitnesses can lie, they can be bribed, they can be threatened, or they just forget what they saw. But the scientific evidence that doesn't lie. So the DNA, fingerprints, blood stains, that's what we call as silent witnesses. They do not talk, but they tell the truth. And here's something really shocking. The innocent people sometimes get punished. Have you ever thought about this question? Like, why do innocent people gets punished? Because earlier investigators would use third degree methods. Yes, the scary kinds to get the confessions that you have seen in the movies. Sometimes even people who didn't commit the crime would also confess just out of the fear. That's terrifying, right? But forensics says, let the evidence do the talking. Now let's zoom out a bit and look at the bigger picture. Not just in India but across the world, forensic science is now the pillar of the justice system. Forensic science is the pillar of justice system. So, from small thefts to international cyber crimes, forensic science is actually playing a key role in solving mysteries, catching culprits, and most importantly, protecting the innocent. Now, let's talk about the scope, and trust me, the scope is huge. First of all, forensic science is not just about the lab coat and microscope. It is a field that spread its wings across so many domains. If you talk about it, forensic science works in police departments, courts, banks, hospitals, cybersecurity firms, and even the private companies. So crime isn't just about murder mysteries anymore. It's about frauds, cyber crimes, data leaks, terrorism, drug abuse, and forensic science fits in all of this. Now, if you're someone thinking of choosing this field, let me tell you, there are tons of career options. Here are some of the most important fields in forensics that you need to know if you're planning a career in it. So the first would be crimes in crime scene investigation, which we generally refer to as CSI teams. So this is where it all begins. Crime scene experts are like detectives with lab coats. They collect evidence, secure the scene, and make sure nothing gets contaminated. Even a small hair or a drop of blood can crack the case. Then the second one can be fingerprint examination. So every human has unique fingerprints. The fingerprint examiners analyze the hidden prints. So the term that we use for hidden prints is latent prints that are left behind on the weapons, walls, or even on any food wrapper that is present in the crime scene. So matching those fingerprints can actually nail the suspect. It's like solving a puzzle. Then third would be bloodstain pattern analysis. pattern analysis. So, have you ever seen those blood spatter patterns in the crime shows? That's the real science. The bloodstain pattern analyst can tell whether a wound was from stabbing, shooting, or a blunt force. When we look from our eyes, we can see that, okay, we might not be able to decipher whether the blood stain that we are seeing right now is from the stabbing, shooting, but the bloodstain pattern analyst can actually tell you how did the wound happen, and just by looking at the pattern and the shape of the bloodstain. Then comes the DNA analysis, which is probably the most popular. DNA is the biological fingerprint, and whether it's a rape case, paternity dispute, or identifying someone from skeletal remains, DNA solves it. So remember, DNA is your biological fingerprint. It's very accurate and very powerful in court. Then comes toxicology. So, toxicology is all about detecting poisons, drugs, alcohols. So, basically, that's anything that's harmful in the body. For example, if someone mysteriously dies, a toxicologist can check their blood or urine in order to rule out whether he died because of poisoning or overdose. Then we have explosives and fire debris analysis. So these experts in this field, they investigate bomb blast, arson, or any suspicious fire. So they identify what explosive was used, what kind of accelerant started the fire, and even whether it was accidental or intentional. It is very technical but very cool. Then comes something called as question document examination. So not every crime involves murder. Some involves fake signatures, forged wills, or counterfeit currencies also. So document experts detect whether handwriting is genuine, if papers have been altered, or if someone is faking an identity. Then we have firearm and ballistic experts also. So the firearm and ballistic experts match bullets to the guns, which means that if we find a bullet and we have a gun, we can match whether this bullet was fired from this gun or not. They can tell which weapon fired a bullet, from what distance, and even in what direction. It's highly specialized field and used in almost all shooting investigations. Then forensic science has a broad scope in cyber and digital forensics. So our crimes have gone digital, so has the forensics. Cyber experts retrieve deleted data from phones, they trace email threads, they track down hackers, and even recover WhatsApp chats. So with the rise in cyber crimes, this field is booming. Now we have another field which is very interesting called as forensic odontology. It sounds very fancy, but it's all about teeth. Dentist in the forensics helps identify the unknown bodies using their dental records, especially in disaster or burned cases. They analyze bite marks. Yes, you heard it right. Criminals do leave bite marks behind. So that is the work of the forensic odontologist. Then we have forensic anthropology, which is again a very interesting field. Anthropolo- Anthropology. So they work on bones. Odontology, they work on teeth, and anthropology, they work on bones. So if only skeletal remains are found, anthropologists can determine the person's age. With the help of bones, we can determine the person's age, sex, height, cause of death, and whether the bones show any signs of trauma. It's like talking to the bones literally. Then we have forensic pathology. So these are actually the doctors who pursue the MBBS. and who perform the autopsies. They determine the exact cause of the death, like a heart attack, strangulation, or poisoning. They work closely with the police and helps to answer the questions like how did the person die. Then comes forensic psychology and forensic psychiatry. Forensic psychology and forensic psychiatry. So here comes the mind readers. They evaluate a suspect's mental state, give criminal profiling, and they also assess whether a person was mentally stable at the time of the crime. It is very helpful in serial killer cases. Then we have forensic education and research. Not all of us actually end up in labs or crime scenes. Many become teachers, professors, or researchers. There's so much unexplored in forensics, and this field needs innovation from AI integration to just faster DNA tools. Then comes the private labs and the corporate forensics. Yes, jobs aren't just in the government sector. Private detective agencies, the insurance fraud firms, and even banks, they hire forensic experts. Forensic accounting is also big, which helps in tracking financial frauds and white collar crimes. Now we have a bonus point here also. If you are dreaming big, dream about international forensics. So there are roles in Interpol, FBI collaborations, and there are some international disaster victim identification programs as well. So forensics is global, the science is same, just the jurisdiction changes. So now here what makes this field very exciting is you never stop learning. You have new technologies, new crimes, and new skills. You really get to make a real difference. Your work could save someone innocent or help deliver justice. Third is you stand out. You're not just a cop or a lawyer. You are the bridge between the science and the law, and you are a part of the team. You work alongside with police, lawyers, scientists, and even tech experts. And finally, you get that thrill of solving puzzles, connecting clues, and speaking for the evidence that can't speak for itself. So whether you're interested in working in India or abroad in a lab or out in the field, forensic gives you a wide open playground to explore. There is room for everyone here, from science geeks to investigators, psychologists to computer whizzies. Forensic science is no longer the sidekick, it's the main character in the justice story. Forensic science is the main character. So now before I wrap this up, let me be real with you. Yes, forensic science is fascinating, impactful, and absolutely essential to justice. But the harsh reality is that getting a job in this field, especially in India, isn't easy. Opportunities are limited. Sometimes it feels like the system isn't ready for us, and it can be frustrating. You might finish your degree and find yourself waiting for vacancies, waiting for interviews, waiting for the field to actually value the skills we have spent years learning. But you know what? It's worth the wait. The field is slowly evolving, crime is getting complex, courts are realizing the need for scientific evidence, and one day, when the system is ready, we will be too. So do not lose hope, be patient, keep learning, keep networking, keep building your knowledge, because when the opportunity comes, we will be the ones who lead the change. And until then, let's keep the curiosity alive together. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Inain's Forensic Classroom. See you in the next video. Bye bye.